93 WIBC, WIBC.com. Man, this is exciting. It's not every day you have the six-time world champion. Not only that, the great professional wrestling career, but now he's action movie star. He's got the best podcast in the world, The Steve Austin Show, and he's into season number 3 of Redneck Island on CMT. Mr. Steve Austin. Steve, it's great to have you.
Man, it's great to be on the show, and I appreciate you helping us spread the word about Redneck Island. I have a lot of fun with this show, and it's a blast to be able to do it.
This is, I guess some would say, Survivor with rednecks. I think it's more than that, though. Where did the concept for Redneck Island come from?
You know, I don't know where the concept came from, but when they pitched me the idea because they thought I'd be the perfect host, and I agreed, and we got everything worked out, it just it happened like it did, and just I hear kind of a Survivor here and there. We don't like to say Survivor on Redneck Island, but certainly it does. There are some parallels there, but lots of drama. Obviously, with when I take 15 rednecks and split them up into teams, and one's a green team and one's a blue team, and I put them through these zany, wacky, physical, mental challenges, and the losing team comes to my place, and we start voting bodies off the island. And getting down to that process of elimination, there's a lot of drama going on. The alliances that are formed, these people that are away from their loved ones, maybe out of their home state for the first time, and just the fun nature of the show. It's a great show for family viewing, and it's something that I dig being a part of. These contestants on this show reminded me much of myself before I got into the business of professional wrestling years ago.
Yeah, and being a lifelong Southerner myself, I'm in Indy now, but I grew up in North Georgia, and this is as far north as I've ever been. This is like this is kind of like old home day when you see some of these folks, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Whereabouts from North Georgia are you from?
I was born in Chattanooga, actually, Tennessee. Grew up just across the state line, Trenton, Georgia, little town, about 2 hours north of Atlanta.
Oh man, yeah, I love that country over there.
I do too.
And, of course, wrestling over in Chattanooga, and of course, I spent about 5 years in Atlanta, a great city.
Mm-hmm.
Got out of there, but you're in Indy right now, correct?
That is correct.
I've enjoyed all my time spent up there. There's some great wrestling fans in that area. I've been watching the Colts. I love what they're doing with Andrew Luck. The future looks very promising for the football team up there. You got to be a big football fan, right?
Oh, hell, yeah, absolutely, man. Now I'm a diehard Crimson Tide fan. It's kind of hard to follow college football up here, like we did in SEC country. But it was very interesting around national championship game time last year, kind of being the lone Crimson Tide fan, surrounded by the Notre Dame people, knowing what I thought was going to happen and what ended up happening in that game. But that was a lot of fun.
Well, I'm a big Alabama fan. I love what Nick Saban has done there. Go down as one of the greatest coaches of all time. So, right now I kind of ride that Crimson Tide myself. And it was interesting, what was going down between, them and Georgia there towards the end.
Oh, yeah.
And Georgia, sometimes, a couple of seasons ago showed promise, couldn't get over the hump. They got over the hump. Then Alabama just squashed them. But, again, that SEC is so dominant. The competition is so fierce. And I love the Alabama Crimson Tide program. And man, they turn out a lot of pros every single year.
Yeah, they do. It is a lot of fun to watch. Steve Austin is with us. Redneck Island is into season 3. Do you think you'd make it 3 seasons when you started this show?
Yes, sir, I did. Just because I had such a great feeling the first day we went on set and things just started happening. And it was a brand new show. And, I did a season of Tough Enough. And this was a new endeavor for me, but just like anything, you fly by the seat of your pants. We have some very creative, intelligent, passionate people working behind the scenes to make me as good as I can be. Some great people producing and coming up with these challenges. And, of course, you got to give it up to these rednecks. These people who are just coming from home to put it all on the line and fight for $100,000. So I knew the elements were there. We found our audience. We continue to try to make the product better, and I think it'll be around for a long time. I really thought it would be around for a long time, and I think it will continue to keep going.
Yeah, I was a big Tough Enough fan, too, being a lifelong wrestling fan. I remember you saying one of the early Steve Austin Show podcast that you love doing reality TV. What is it about reality TV that's so good?
Man, the thing I loved about Tough Enough was it was totally unscripted.
Yeah.
I'd wake up and say, hey, what are we doing? And they'd say, okay, we're going to do this. Then I'd just go do it. I'd make it up off the top of my head. There's a little bit of copy in Redneck Island as I'm going through some instructions, which, I've got to kind of dial in a little bit. But it is, for the most part, reality TV. We put people in situations, and they have to respond accordingly. And it's a dynamic which happens, as we filmed Tough Enough or Redneck Island in about 30 days. So I go in there, I hit it hard, we work our asses off, and then you get on and go down the road. It works for my attention span, but also just because each day is fresh, each day is different, and with the bodies leaving, the soap opera continues on the island. So it's fun for me to watch as a spectator while I'm on the island, and also from a hosting standpoint to try to maintain my professionalism.
Steve Austin is a busy man. You got the production company. You're doing action movies. You're just on the go all the time. Everybody wonders, at least the wrestling fans wonder, are we ever going to see Steve in the ring again? You got a lot going on already, it sounds like.
Man, I'm doing real good. Man, I hate to keep flirting with the wrestling thing because you never know. And to commit to one match is actually trying to commit to about 3 or 4 months worth of build up.
Sure.
And prep, because you don't say, oh, I'm going to be in a match, and then 1 week later you're wrestling. You would have to train for that. You'd have to do so much to make that happen and to pull it off to the level that would be acceptable to you. So, will it ever happen? Man, who knows? As time goes by and I get older, I guess that window keeps closing. And I'm not flirting with the match now, but yes, to your point, I'm busy. I'm having fun. I love and appreciate my wrestling fans so much. It was the first love of my life and my passion, and now I just try to keep those same fans and entertain them in any vehicle I can that I see fit to.
Now, I imagine it'd be hard to get ready for just that one match now when we get up to our age, Steve, than it would be 10, 15 years ago, too.
Well, yeah, that along with the fact, to me, it's just like, it'd almost be like prepping for a UFC fight. You'd have to go into camp and really train, because you've got to understand. People could say wrestling is entertainment, but the cardio, the dynamics of bumping, the effects of that crowd, everything that goes into it is prep. Mentally and physically, you must prep. That's going to be the biggest night of your life for that year, and you've got to be tip-top 100% mentally and physically.
Redneck Island is on Saturday nights at 9, correct, CMT?
And Saturday nights on CMT.
Oh, man. Cannot wait for the next episode, see who gets voted off. And, Steve, I remember it like it was yesterday, the Austin 316 moment that launched the Stone Cold persona. But you know what? For me, it was about a year or so before that, the promo that you cut on the ladder in ECW with Mikey Whipwreck and Sandman in the ring. And, I kind of get a little sad thinking about that, because woman, Nancy Benoit, was there too. That was those two defining moments in your career that stand out, and I'll never forget seeing those when they happen. But it's been a pleasure watching you for so long, and it's great to see you still active and on TV doing Redneck Island, and it's been great talking to you, Steve.
Hey, man, I appreciate you following me my whole career. I've had a blast doing it, and, when you can do what you love to do and people are enjoying watching it and being able to live vicariously through that character to get them through some hard times or whatever, that's a great feeling for me, and I'm glad I could impact some people's lives from that standpoint. I appreciate it very much, and thank you for helping us push Redneck Island on CMTs, 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Central. It says Redneck Island, but you ain't got to be a redneck to enjoy it. It's for everybody. It's family fun.
Steve Austin, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ray.